Different people have different streams of income, and they look upon those who work for them to help them realize some income. But you'll get some employees will tend to create streams of income at their place of work. As a result, the employer ends up losing. My audience, our video today is on payroll fraud. We are going to see the ways employees who work on the payroll end up maximizing their earnings from different methods using the payroll. One of the ways is by looking at the dead employees. When they see the number of employees who have died, they change the name and insert a name of a person they know, and then they continue using that payroll number to earn. Another way is the dead employee, as much as he's been buried, interment does not matter. They continue to earn because those payroll staff know the relatives of the employee, that is the deceased employee. So the relative continues to get the money in different ways, such as the ATM, the automated teller machine, will give them the money because they know the password of the card. They may use online banking for withdrawals because they know the password of the deceased. So they continue earning, and the person who examines the payroll may not be aware, but the person who inputs is aware that he did not deactivate the name of the deceased employee. My audience, this is quite rampant in different organizations. So the employee who is deceased, the relatives continue to withdraw salary, and you continue to suffer as the employer because your revenue goes to a big wage bill. Another way is through members of staff who have exited. People exit in different ways. One is through retirement, resignation, dismissal, amongst others. You may be retrenched. Now, when you retire, you are supposed to be removed from the payroll. But a cheeky payroll clerk or payroll manager, they have different job descriptions, the people who deal on the payroll, and they have different designations. When they decide to collude, you lose money as the employer. They end up using the names of those who have exited, e.g. on retirement, then they insert a name of a living person. They use the name of the person whose contract ended, then they use the name of a living person. They use the name of the person who resigned, then they put the name of a living person. And the more people you have whom you've put in the payroll to earn under exits, the more earnings you get. Because whoever goes to the bank normally gives you your share. So when you put a name, it's a name of an accomplice who will take a certain percentage as agreed and then gives you. Anytime you disagree, you'll change that name. But the payroll number is for that person who exited. So employers, that's how you end up losing money, and you are wondering, why is your age bill ever high? Those are some of the reasons. Unpaid leave. When one has taken unpaid leave, he may have taken that unpaid leave because he wants to visit his family that may be staying out of the country of work. He may have taken unpaid leave because of trying to do some work elsewhere for a certain period, subject to the Human Resource Policy and Procedures Manual. Now, this unpaid leave is different depending on one's policy and procedures manual. It can be 1 year, it can be 3 months, or so. Most of the time, it's under 1 year. Now, when one takes unpaid leave and goes whatever he has gone to do, even if it is working elsewhere, he's still an employee because his unpaid leave was authorized. As he has gone for unpaid leave, you will get someone who is in the payroll decides again to insert another person. Another person will be a ghost. That person will be earning with the personal number for the employee who has gone on unpaid leave. He'll earn month 1, he'll earn until the time for the employee's return has reached. Employers, if you are not keen at critiquing the payroll, then those who critique are going to have a bigger share of revenue than you yourself, because they increase your losses. They increase your losses. You are paying for them insurance. You are paying, that is a group life in assurance. You are paying for group personal accident. You are paying for their medical insurance, and you've insured your various softwares and different systems. You've insured the vehicles, amongst others. Now, if this employee is on unpaid leave is still earning because of a payroll officer who is not paying due diligence in critiquing what another junior officer has done, and designations doesn't matter, different organizations give those officers different designations, then it is you, the employer, going to keep on losing year in, year out. Year in, year out. Because when they differ with those people who are earning on their behalf, most of the time they bring another person, payroll number remains the same. The person who is coming in is given again another salary. There is another way of creating a living ghost. When you create a living ghost, my audience, this living ghost is a person who has a tax number and has identification number, has a passport. Those details have been put in the payroll. The only difference is the payroll number he's using for, it has just been created to capture him or her. It's either gender. So you end up earning, and the payroll clerk or officer is aware. So you keep on earning month in, month out. You take that percentage to whoever put you in the payroll. The person who put you in the payroll has to earn. So that's the person you've put in the payroll. And for example, you might be taking 75% of whatever you earn. Remember, the ghosts pay tax. They've got a tax number. Most of the time, it is a clique of so many employees. The cartel has the auditor in, has the finance person in. That's why they don't over-critique the payroll. They know they have their numbers covered. It also goes back to budgeting. At budget stage, they catered for the ghosts. So the ghosts are already covered. They know I'll be having so many, another one will be having so many, and they end up earning like that. So these are living people. If the clerk has 4, the finance officer has so many, and they give them varying figures for salary. Some earn more, others earn much lower. So it's also a matter of how many do you have and what do they earn. That is what contributes to your net take home from your employer in terms of different streams from the payroll. We also have inflation of salaries. Not all employees are employed at the same salary because they have different job specifications and job descriptions. Now, if I clean the office and another person is the CEO, our salaries are quite different. So when the clerk decides to adjust the pay of people, and as I've mentioned, those employees whose payment has been adjusted, most of the time it is a cartel, then as you adjust yours, of course you can only adjust it upwards. Then at the same time, the number of people you've adjusted for end up earning. And as they earn, others who are calling themselves the employer may not be getting as much revenue. Most of it goes into insurance and other operations. You will not discover you are actually paying the clerk much more than you earn yourself. Those who work in the payroll are taking much more. You'll discover probably from their lifestyle, because it is a cartel, and the people you are relying on as the employer to give information are not giving you the information. You may have a very good human resource management information system, yes, but the service provider signed a contract with you and is keen to ensure what he signed for is what he is undertaking. Anything outside is actually not his work. Unless you ask him now to audit the payroll, then he'll be able to audit the payroll. Else, the service provider will assist you with migration of software, will assist you with anything else you want on the payroll. But if you've not asked him, help me know the people get into the payroll and get out, he'll not know. So to cap that, we shall look at it in another video, but in essence, don't leave one person on the payroll for too long. He's the one putting in the biodata, giving the salary, the personal number, posting the bank details, and authenticating the payroll. It is possible that he can easily mess you up. Ladies and gentlemen watching me, kindly subscribe to my channel if you've not done so, and if you've done, thanks a lot, and you're most welcome to my next video. Remember to share, comment, and like.